Okay, so, I guess you can read from the title, this is kind of be one of those, like, those type of things, I guess. So, yeah, ever since gay marriage was legalized, well, not ever since, I've kind of known a little bit before, but ever since gay marriage was legalized, I've noticed a lot of people coming out as gay and lesbian and all this other stuff to the social media and just to their families and in general. So, one, no, I am not gay or lesbian, per se, and no, I'm not either straight. For some of you, this may be confusing you, but the people who know what I'm getting at, you're right on board and you understand the feeling. So, it's not ever since gay marriage has been legalized. I've known before, but it's kind of just like pumped me a little bit more to be confident in who I am and be confident in how I feel and just who I am. A lot of the videos I've seen, people were crying and upset about this. Not upset, but like crying just in general, and just kind of like wow and amazed like they're coming out. But I'm not gonna cry. So hopefully I don't cry. There's nothing to really cry about, but so let me just get to the point. I'm bisexual. I've been bisexual ever since I can honestly remember. But if I had like a time and point where I kind of like knew, well, I didn't really know. Okay, so I didn't know what the word bisexual was. I don't even think I knew what the word gay was, or lesbian, or any of that. I didn't even think I was like, oh, okay, people. And I think I was like, shoot, I think it was like in kindergarten or for like first grade, and like, no. Listen, just listen. So, there is this boys and girls club I used to go to, and there was this group of like kids like I would hang out with, like, cause that's just what you do. And they would have this bathroom, no, just let me finish. They would have this bathroom, and it would be a girls and guys bathroom, but they had like stalls in them. They didn't have just like, oh, just one bathroom just for one person. But me and this group of girls, we would go in there and we were to play this boy and girl game. And this one chick, she had this like, and remember, we're like in first grade, like, so we don't really know any better, like, we're kids, like, we're like 7 to 5, like, it's not registering in our head, like, we're too young to really, like, know about that stuff. But there's this girl, and she would have this lipstick, and it would be like blue and pink, because, you know, like 2006, like, we all had those like little makeup kits of just like random ass colors, because yeah. And we would get like she would like play tic-tac-toe with us, and like 1 2 1 2 whatever, like, and number us, and 1 would be a girl and 2 would be a boy. And we would get these colored, and we put the colored lipstick on, and like we would go in the bathroom so like no one saw us, because we're like sneaky like that. And whoever was a girl got partnered up with a boy, and they had a kiss. Well, typical, like, quote boy and quote girl. Well, we were all girls, but we would have to like, we would play out these like little scenes from like Disney movies, and we would kiss or whatever. But I kind of knew, because like I enjoyed being kissed by a girl. Like, not like, oh, I'm a 1-year-old. I'm a first grader being all sexual. Like, no, just like, oh, it felt normal. Like. Noting, I've like never known about this. Like, I didn't know what gay was or any of that was. I just like, it's just kind of like registered in my head. But once I like knew what bisexual was, I was just like, oh, okay. And for like the longest time, I claimed to be straight, because like that's all I thought I was, and I like only like guys. I was like boy crazy. Like, I still am boy crazy, but like I'm like more, and I was like really secretive, because like a lot of my best friends I had major crushes on them, but I was just like, oh, I just think they're really pretty, and that's just like it. Like, I like guys. Like, I didn't know how that like whole thing worked. Like, I wasn't thinking about that. Like, cause I'm like the 6th grade, like 5th, 6th grade. I'm not thinking about that stuff. Like, I had crushes on them, but like I never said anything about it, cause I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna let everybody think I'm boy crazy. Like, I'm just gonna leave it at that. But it kind of came to a point like in 8th grade, when everybody was like talking about it, like it just became this like big pop-up thing, like, oh, this is that and that's this, and I just like registered in my head. I was like, oh my gosh, like I just claimed to be straight. That's like all I did. And like I would have thoughts of me being lesbian because I would like girls, but then I was just like, nah, I like guys too much to like be like that. But I'm like, I still like girls. Like it would confuse me so much. But eventually I kind of just accepted it. And I remember I was like at the sleepover with my cousin, and there's this girl that I thought was really, really pretty. And I kind of hung around her the entire night, and I just like didn't say anything about it. And we're doing this like whole thing, we're like telling our deepest secrets. And like one of the time, and like I said, I was like, yeah, sometimes I think I'm lesbian. And like I just said it out loud, just because of it. Because we're telling secrets, I was like, alright, whatever. Like some girl said she had like sex, like she was like at 13. I was like, oh, okay, we're talking secrets, let me just say this. And I said it, and like all the girls like scooted away from me, and my cousin looked at me dead in the face. She was like, Justice, are you serious? Like, that's gross. Like, I just like got so ashamed of myself at that point. Like, I wanted to cry so bad, and I like just like shut off for a long time. And like later on in junior high, some people like joked around with me, thinking I was gay and all this stuff. I was like, nah, I'm straight. Like, I don't like people like that. And again, like I had no problem with people that were gay. I was just like, all right, cool, you do you. Like I'm cool with it. But basically, I got bullied a lot, and like some people like go tell rumors like, oh, you're gay, she's gay, don't like her, don't talk to her. And it was like, really? Like, you're so immature. But like I actually got really hurt by it because like I didn't know if I was gay, and I was just liking guys because I was told to like guys. Like, I didn't know. But eventually around like end of 7th grade, beginning of 8th grade, I kind of just like went through a process, and I was like, you know what? Freaking forget it. Like, F it. I'm bisexual. Like, I know I am, and this is just how it is. Like, I like guys and I like girls. It's just like it wasn't really a thing back then. Like, no one thought of it as a thing. It was still like people were like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, type of thing. Like, no one knew about it. Like, I told like very few people, like my very few like really, really close friends, or like, and I think I dated a guy for like the longest time ever, and I told him, and he was like, okay, he's like really confused and was like, what the F? But I kind of just like accepted it. And I hadn't had a crush on a girl like early, like I did, but I didn't tell anybody about it. Besides, like I told like one person, and like they were just like kind of like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I thought you were straight. Like it still wasn't like accepted kind of, and I just kind of like went along with it. I've been just kind of going along with it. I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna kind of keep this to myself. But like, towards the end of 8th grade, towards the beginning of 9th grade, end of 8th grade, I like fully accepted it. I was like, you know what? I'm bisexual. I'm gonna own it. I'm gonna tell people this. Like, this is my raving concept. I'm gonna tell people about it. But I remember I tried to tell my mom one time, and she didn't accept it like at all. Like, she like looked at me like she was like about to like stab me in the face. I was like, oh, okay, great. So like she didn't understand. She's like, either you're gay or you're straight. Like, which one is it? And she's like, you're not gay, you're straight. Like, I was just like, okay, I guess you're accepting whatever I feel like. But I would like try to explain to her, or no, it would just like try to, it was like any adult that I told. I was like, I try to explain to them like, no, like I like girls and I like guys. Like, I love people. Like, people are amazing. I love people. And like they would look at me like freaking crazy. They're like, what the and they're like, what girls do you have a crush on? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I couldn't list like a bunch of people off the top of my head, but they're like, okay, what guys do you like? And I'm, because that was like the only thing I really knew, just like list off in my head, because that was just everything that I knew at the time. And eventually, like, I like figured out like, oh yeah, well, I like them and I like that, and I just like build up a list anytime anybody asked me those questions. And then they would ask me these questions, like continuing with that, they would be like, okay, well, do you want to have sex with a girl? Do you want to kiss a girl? And I didn't know what to say, and I was just like, okay, I didn't get that far into it. I don't want to think about these. I'm like, I don't I'm 13. Like, I don't want to think about this. I'm like 13, 14. I don't want to think about that. Like, you know what I mean? It's not really something in my head, like, I want to think about. But I was, like, kind of embarrassed to answer it, too. So it's just like, well, no, like, I would just say no, even though, like, deep in the back of my mind, I'm just like, if the right opportunity came up to me, and the right situation was there, hell yes. Like, yes. Like, if I, just like the same thing with, like, if it was a guy, I'm just like, yes, thank you, I would like to take a piece of that ass. Like, I don't know. But, so it was just kind of something I, like, just, like, was like, whatever, some people aren't accepting it, and then, like, 9th grade, I, like, told anybody that, like, asked me, they're like, are you, like, what are you? And I'm just like, what do you mean? I would, like, explain, like, I have to ask 1,000 questions, because, like, what are you can be, like, so many things. Just, yeah. But I basically kind of came out to everybody as a bisexual. Even, like, friends, like, I knew in, like, elementary school and junior high, I didn't really know, and then, like, when they found out, they're like, wait, what? Like, I remember I had this friend for the longest time, her name was Kara. I think, yeah, I showed her in my video a couple of times, 1 or 2 times. And she didn't know, like, I guess she didn't know, and it was the funniest thing ever, because she found out, like, in, like, the middle of 9th grade, and, like, I told her, and she was like, wait, what? And she was, like, super lost. Like, she had to, like, pause and think for a moment. She's like, wait, what did you just say? It was the funniest thing ever. So, there was that. But I remember one big time where I was like, you know, hit my elbow. Like, one time I completely was just like, you know what, I'm putting it all on the table besides this. But, like, I'm putting it all on the table. Like, I don't care what you think. Like, this is who I am. This is how I'm going to accept it. So, I was at my dad's, visiting my dad's one time. And my, like, whole family, kind of like not my extended family, but, like, a good, like, the main family you go to, like, your mom, dad, brother, sister, uncle, aunt, like, grandpa, like, that type of, like, a little extended family, whatever you have. And my aunt, she was reading something to my brother, or my stepbrother, and because he isn't really, like, he's not all about that life, all that stuff, and she was reading some quote to him, or something. And then my brother responded basically like, okay, well, I don't care. I still don't like them or whatever. Like, I don't think he hates gays, but I think he's just like really uncomfortable with the thought of it because it's like still like kind of a new process to him. And he didn't like accept it at all. And like my stepmom knew, and like I told her, and she was just kind of like, you know, I love you no matter what, but like I'm not gonna like be okay with this really. But my brother had said something like that, and I got like super like upset. Like I started getting really teary-eyed, and I was like, you ever like cried when you're super mad? Like I was so mad that I started crying. Like that's how mad I was about the situation. And I looked at my stepmom, and I like looked at her. I was like kind of like with this like look like I'm about to stab somebody in the face right now. And then she looked at me, and she was like, oh crap, some shit's about to happen. And I looked at my brother and I was like, okay, so you hate gays? And he's like, I guess. And I was like, so does that mean you hate me? And he just like was, what do you mean? And like everybody like got dead silent at the table because we were like all at the table just talking. And then like got dead silent and he was like, what do you mean? I'm like, you hate me. I'm bisexual. You obviously hate me if you hate gays and you think that's wrong and all that stuff. Like, so am I not your sister anymore? Like you don't accept me? Like I went on a complete rant on him. And eventually I got so upset and I couldn't even speak anymore to the point like I started choking and I was like crying. And I like ran outside to like the back porch or whatever, and I was just like, I'm not gonna talk. Like it was done. And I was so upset, like I was crying out there. It was mentioned it's like 45 degrees outside. It was cold. I'm like in shorts and a tank top. I'm freezing. And I'm sitting out there on some couch, and my aunt comes out there, and she was talking to me for a while, and then she started crying while I was crying, and she was like, I hope you understand that me and your uncle will always accept you no matter what people say, and I'm very glad that you like came out and told people. Like, and it just like opened my heart, and it like, it didn't break my heart, but it like opened my heart so much that I like started even crying even more, and I kind of want to cry right now because how beautiful I thought it was, just thinking about it. And it made me so happy to just, like, know that she was there for me. And then, like, eventually after I started crying and, like, she got me tissues or whatever. I'm not sure if anybody else came back out there to talk to me. But then I, like, went back in the house and I felt, like, kind of, like, uncomfortable in a way. Because I didn't know what the rest of my family was going to say. And I knew just like that certain like my like parents I was like living with, they and like family, they were just like kind of like, what the heck? Because yeah, I don't think they expected that from me really. But eventually the day went on, like things went on, and like over weeks and times and months even, they've kind of just like learned to accepted it, and I've kind of just like told them every once in a while, like, oh yeah, like this girl, that girl was cute, or that guy was cute, or that, and then I would like say a guy and a girl like one after another. I'd be like walking around in the mall or something in like a shopping center, I'd be like, oh yeah, that guy's cute, oh yeah, she's cute too, and then like my parents and like everybody would be like they eventually just got so confused, and they're like just like they stopped questioning everything in general, and it was funny. But yeah, that's kind of my coming out story. And like, yeah, I've technically dated 2 girls already, and I've kissed a couple girls, and I've kissed guys, and I've dated plenty of guys. Like, I know what it's like on both ends, and I like both ends, and it's just how it is. But I kind of just want to like put this video out there because just for like anybody who still wants to come out and like tell the world, because I know there's so many people that have not told anybody yet. And this is just kind of my coming out to like tell my family and tell my friends, like if they don't know yet still, you know, I'm pretty open about it. Like, so yeah, that's just kind of something, just like encourage people to come out, or just like kind of like opening people up to like talk about it. I wouldn't say this is like the most emotional, like inspiring video ever, but I mean, it's something to think about. Like, hopefully it gives you guys something to think about. But yeah, that's just kind of my coming out story in a way. And if anybody else wants to just come out and tell their story, I encourage you. I'm pretty sure there will be somebody somewhere in the world that you can talk to. Like, shoot, if you like leave me a comment down below, like I'll talk to you, and I'll be like, hey, you know what, I'll try to do my best to respond and like encourage you to do whatever, and just like, you know what, I think it's safe. Like, if you feel like you're not really safe talking about it to your family, I would kind of just like, I don't know, ease your way into it. That's like the best thing I can say. But yeah, I think coming out made me feel a lot better, because I didn't feel like so restricted. And when like people would like joke around about me liking a girl or something about that, I'd be like, I'm just kind of like, now I'm just more like, you know what, no, I don't like her, but I like her. Like, it's just like, it's just kind of like whatever. A guy or a person jokes about like, oh, me liking a guy and a girl at the same time, and I'm like, yes, this is possible. And yeah, I don't know, a lot of people are just like, a lot of people have told me, they're like, oh, you're just acting like you're bisexual because you saw Ruby Rose or something. I'm like, no, she is very pretty, but no. I mean, honestly, like the first person I gotta say that I've like ever liked in my entire life, like as a girl, is Rihanna. Like, that's gonna sound like the weirdest thing ever, but like, she is my wife. Like, I want her to be my wife, like forever, really, honestly. And then there's like Andrew Griffin, I think. Yeah, that dude. And like, or like Evan Peters. I'm just like, oh yes, life, they. So yeah, this is just kind of something to like inform people and like let them know. So if anybody wants to come out, I welcome you. This is a very beautiful. It's beautiful on the end of the rainbow. We are a rainbow, no matter how. Like, that will support you. What are you talking about? What do you feel? Because it's human nature. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't, honestly, you should just ignore anybody that tells you otherwise, because who are they to say? They don't know your feelings. And if you're not sure and you want to figure out, like, I don't know, I'm not really sure how to help you there, but I just kind of learned on my own. I kind of just like went through my own personal experience and just kind of figured it out. But yeah, I think you should come out if you are, and if you're not, support people that are, and if you don't, that's your business. So, alright, bye.